Now, is it Julian, Bowden and Tony Smail, are you coming together? Have I got that right?
Yes.
Yes, so we've got football and rugby side by side. Thank you.
Kia ora. Firstly, thanks for allowing us to actually come in side by side. We're actually really excited that two of the largest sports in the city have been able to sit alongside each other and look at what's best for the whole community moving forward. So I'm Julian, I'm the CEO at Mainland Football, and both of us will do a bit of a scene set, but then talk through some of the stuff that's come out of our individual submissions. Firstly, Mainland Football, as you know, is responsible for delivery of football across the region and currently supports 21 clubs and 15,000 registered players who take part playing sport every weekend over the winter. On top of this, we provide programs across the city for kids to have a go festival days and holiday programs. Our sport continues to gain in popularity. The hosting of the Women's World Cup will see a new group of players come to the game, both male and female. Being a global game, our membership and playing base is diverse. Our various competition structures ensure we cater for our wider community. A doubling of junior numbers, which is 4 to 8 year olds in the last 2 years, is cause for celebration, but looking forward will provide challenges. We've gone from just over 1,000 kids aged 4 to 8 playing in 2019 to over 2,200 this year. And so that's well beyond any projection that we had. We have a strong focus on developing our club capability to deliver programs in communities. The club licensing program is helping improve the experience for the player and for the family.
From Canterbury Rugby Football Union, we're responsible for the delivery of rugby across the region and currently supporting 17 clubs in the city, and also we have 15,000 registered players taking part, so collectively between football and rugby we've got 30,000 participants playing the game every week, so we're pretty passionate and important what we want for our sports. We're also growing. We've grown 68 to 83 teams, so 25% increase in our teenage rugby space in the last 3 years, probably contrary to what people think is happening in our sport. Our membership and playing base is also diverse. Various competition structures also ensure we cater for our wider community, and a heavy and strong focus on developing club capability to deliver programs in our communities.
So the rest of this would really come together and we'll talk to, but the major issues that we see in front of, for both of us and probably all winter sports, is a lack of quality playing and training surfaces. Two of the last 3 seasons has seen grounds presented in generally poor condition. Lack of water via dry weather conditions or underperformance of the irrigation system citywide have equally had a role to play in this. Lack of training facilities with adequate lighting for teams to train midweek, and potentially the development of midweek competition structures. Many of our teams and members that pay fees for 2 training sessions a week and a game at the weekend, there's simply not enough facilities for them. A number of our clubs are growing beyond the current ground capacities that are within their region. Most obvious, this is where we're seeing population growth in town, particularly over the Horsewell Way and out in Bishopdale, Casebrook, out that way as well. We also have a number of health and safety concerns around player welfare with the state of the grounds that we're being presented. But we're actually more interested in finding, I guess, solutions about how we move forward. So collectively, we believe that a complete review of the green space field network for winter codes needs to be undertaken with support from the council, and we'd welcome being part of that review. The need to investigate new technologies around artificial surfaces is part of that plan, noting that the need for water on these surfaces is non-existent, and it's an issue that the council and the city face at the moment around water usage. For the winter codes to collaborate around the development of this plan and work with other stakeholders, including schools and other sports, to ensure a full community focus and access. With an artificial turf, we see as much as 10 times use on a sports field than we do on a soil-based field. The other opportunity that this will provide is for the council to actually retire some of the poorest performing grass fields. There are parks in town that simply will never be repaired post-earthquake, so the chance to retire those. And the other thing that's important to us is that the fields are strategically located around the city to give access to all. And in the documents that you would have seen, there's some ideas in there around how that planning could take place, but most notably close to schools seems to be real value to us, which we've seen at English Park. So the ask from us is well, we think it's reasonably simple, but Mainland Football and the Canterbury Rugby Union is looking for support from the Rec and Sports and Parks team from the council to establish how an artificial network could be established over time to support and improve the current field network. We'd like to work with council staff to establish business case proposals that would consider ongoing sustainability and community benefits. This would include working around possible sites around the region and would maximise benefits to the wider community. These may be current or greenfield sites. We would also appreciate assistance with developing a funding model looking to call on the resources of various entities to help establish the artificial network, including council funders, sponsors, clubs and facility users. So we're really here today, I guess, us recognising that we've got a challenge, but it's a challenge we want to provide a solution to collectively and collaboratively, and bring other people that are using the grass fields of the city into the concept. And we do believe that, you know, when we sit down, yes, we're two different sports, but actually we're there to provide opportunities for kids to go out and play. And right now we believe that's hampered, but we believe we can find a strong solution by working together to come up with a plan that will see us move forward and allow more of our young people to get out and play sport.
Yeah, and an artificial surface can play rugby and football on the same surface, so we're pretty happy to be jointly trying to find solutions for it. There's no artificial surfaces in the long-term plan, and that's a massive blind spot for what our research with the council, with the organisations and Sport Canterbury has identified as our need, and we're pretty passionate about it, and it's a massive blind spot not to be in the long-term plan. It's financially beneficial to the council because we're retiring the grounds that need a heavy maintenance with one that can be used 10 times as much as the existing. It's got financial benefits as well as the needs of the participants. Any questions?
Can we know when the international sporting codes will accept them for
So the quality of a surface is capable of playing those international games. Whether those codes will allow it
it's
to happen.
when will the codes allow it that I want
I think
to know.
the most important thing though is we're
really
actually talking
wish we
about
could do that.
community. We're not talking about the elite level of sport. The council's made a massive commitment to an indoor stadium that is to the benefit of the elite. This is actually about ensuring that communities can get out and play their sport at the weekend, and ensuring that those fields or those facilities are located in places where use can be maximised. So
Yeah, there would be huge benefits though if the Canterbury multi-use arena could have an artificial field.
Yeah, I get that, yeah.
Kia ora, and thank you for your passion for involvement in sport. I'm just interested to know what role the national bodies have in resourcing fields, local fields, community fields, that sort of thing.
Yes, I can speak from rugby. They have no involvement in that. That's seen at a local level for the union to work with the local councils and the providers to enable those to come into play. So if it's about funding, we are absolutely committed to joint partnership arrangements to make these things happen. It's not about funding, it's about trying to entice the council to have it in their thought process for a start, and then for us to work with everybody to find the places to get these in. They're not necessarily easy because they're lights in a residential area. That's the biggest blocker, but there's always a way.
Clarify, it's not about funding, it's about how we work together with you and council together to...
Oh, we'd absolutely love some funding in the long-term plan, but we would love for that if we're going to replace the work that needs to go on the parks, because there's the financial savings. Let's have it as an option.
So there is money in the LTP for field maintenance and upgrades and new facilities. Our challenge is actually let's not jump ahead to that solution tomorrow. Let's take a view of what that could look like over the next 10 years. And are we using that funding the best way possible to get the best outcomes? Just going and throwing another grass field may not be the best solution. So that's what we're challenging is our collective thinking. And we believe between the sports and our relationships with funders and with council, we'll find ways to work together to help fund these facilities. We're highly aware that funding's the hardest thing to get, but I think, as Tony said, New Zealand football unfortunately must have been talking to New Zealand rugby. They put no money into community field development either, so it's left to the rugby union and ourselves to work locally to find solutions.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and it's yeah. I mean, you've asked us to put it on the radar, and I'm sure that now people are aware of it. We'll have a good conversation about how that might be developed. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
James Harris,